Having a daily spiritual practice is so very important for any empath, intuitive, and highly sensitive soul because it will assist you in staying grounded, centered, and in alignment. And in this video today, I want to share with you the key benefits of having, either starting or sticking with a daily spiritual practice. And here I'm saying daily, not so much a practice that you do every once in a while or maybe once a week, but no, I'm talking about the daily spiritual practice. That is so very important because us empaths, intuitives, and highly sensitive souls, we are picking up so much. And if we don't have a daily practice, a daily spiritual practice, we can often feel very ungrounded, uncentered, and out of balance and very misaligned to ourselves, to our life. And that's usually when a lot of problems actually start, because if you are not centered, grounded, or in alignment, that's when you open the door for all kind of bad things to actually happen in your life, because you're attracting so much, you're feeling so much, you're experiencing so many different things. And that's why a spiritual practice is so important. But let me share with you what exactly I mean with a spiritual practice. Like, especially like if you're just in the beginning of your spiritual awakening journey, maybe you just recently found out that you're an empath, or even if you have been on this journey for some time, but you're feeling often that you're not very centered, not very grounded, and often very misaligned, then you may benefit from implementing or fine-tuning your spiritual practice. So a spiritual practice is a daily practice of tuning in, connecting with soul, connecting with your team of guides if you're working with higher guides. But it's really tuning in and connecting deeply. Because what happens, we're often in our head, right? We're all over the place, but we're often not very connected to our true self, to our soul. And that's why having a daily practice of tuning and connecting with soul, that's what you may want to start your day with, because then you are feeling more in alignment rather than being all over the place, right? Then it's also a practice of calming down your mind, quieting down your mind, whether it's through meditation or any other mindfulness practice. Maybe even yoga is also somewhat of a mindful practice, as well as an exercise as well. But anything where you really quiet down your mind, because then you're also, for one, you can listen more closely to that inner guidance, to the nudges from soul, the guidance from soul, and also the guidance from your team of guides. But then also you're calming down. You're not so stressed or worried and things like that, because that's ego territory. Ego likes to be in worry and overthinking stuff and all of those different things. But when you're quieting down your mind, you really feel more centered and more grounded, because you're more quiet, you're really more connected. And then the daily practice should also include something where you're really tapping into the higher level frequencies, where you really uplift your frequency, your vibration. And that happens when you, let's say, tune into, let's say, gratitude or any higher level frequency words or feelings, the energy of love maybe, or even just journaling as well. And you're tapping into maybe your future vision or your future path, whatever helps you really to raise your frequency, to raise above the lower level frequency that you may experience in your life through the challenges, the obstacles, the situations, the people in your life, all of just life in general, right? Like when life happens all around you, it's often that we may tap into those lower level frequencies rather than really being uplifted. And another very important daily practice that you definitely should implement is a daily cleansing and clearing practice. Really cleansing your energy field and also grounding as well. So you want to cleanse, clear, and ground. You want to cleanse your energetic field. You want to cleanse anything, your entire physical and mental, spiritual, and emotional body of anything that you may have picked up on. Because us empaths, we're sponges for all these negative energies, and we want to help people, but we also need to take care of ourselves by cleansing and clearing ourselves. Think of it like that. You wouldn't leave the house without taking a shower, right? Or you wouldn't go to bed without taking a shower or brushing your teeth, right? So it's the same thing. You want to cleanse your energy field, because your energy field is also your energetic signature. So whenever you go somewhere, people can pick up on that. So a daily cleansing, clearing, and then also grounding yourself into the here and now. That's what a daily spiritual practice is all about. Those 4 key things that I just mentioned to you, that's something you want to do on a daily basis, because if you only do it every once in a while, well, then in between, a lot of stuff can happen. And the more you not do a daily spiritual practice, the more you open yourself up for things that you don't want to attract into your life. But I also want to invite you to check out a video about the 6 powerful morning practices to really start your day, where I talk a little bit more about how to really do the cleansing, the clearing, and what kind of practices you could implement to really stay centered, aligned, and grounded. The link is in the description below. But now let me share with you the key benefits of why having a daily spiritual practice is so important and powerful. First, it keeps your energy clean. And it also keeps you high vibrating. And that is very important. Like I mentioned, you don't want to leave the house without taking a shower or brush your teeth and things like that. So keeping your energy clean is very important, because wherever you go, you're, like I mentioned, your energy is your energetic signature. That's what lets people know who you are, if they're feeling good around you or not. They can pick up if you're having a bad day and things like that. So keeping your energy clean is very important. So having a daily practice will assist you in really keeping your energy clean and also high vibrating. Then secondly, it also helps you actually protect yourself, because the more you keep your energy clean, and the more you stay centered, grounded, and in alignment, that actually helps you protect yourself from negative energies, and especially the cleansing as well. It keeps you from attracting, well, maybe if you are still attracting negative energies, it won't affect you because you're cleansing it on a daily basis. That will then also help you protect yourself from any potential psychic attacks. And let me tell you, psychic attacks, when they happen, they are not fun. They can really mess with your life. There's a link in the description below with a video where I talk more about psychic attacks if you want to learn more about that. But that's another reason why having a daily spiritual practice is so important, because you do not want to attract a psychic attack. And if you're noticing that your life is starting to fall apart or things are not going so well, you definitely want to hone in more on your spiritual practice, to do some more cleansing, do more clearing and things like that. But if you're already doing a daily practice of cleansing and clearing and grounding, you're already protecting yourself from those negative energies and those potential psychic attacks. Then the third benefit is you actually feel absolutely amazing. The more you do this spiritual practice, this daily practice, as I mentioned earlier, it helps you raise in frequency and raise in vibration, and that in itself will help you make you feel so much better. If you start your day with a spiritual practice, it sets up the day where you just feel absolutely amazing. And you can even test this out. Take like a day or two where you don't have a morning practice and see how you feel then. And then do every single day for a couple of days where you do have a morning practice, where you do your cleansing, your clearing, your grounding yourself, calming your mind, and really uplifting yourself, and all of those different things, and see how you feel then. You will notice a difference, because when you start your day off with this spiritual morning practice, or just a spiritual practice in general, you feel so much better because you're uplifting your vibration. Which brings me to the fourth benefit, is that you then also feel more centered, more grounded, and more in alignment. And the alignment is really so key, because as you then go about your day, you're making decisions, you're taking actions, you're doing things, right? And if you're misaligned, it can happen that you're making the wrong kind of decisions, taking the wrong kind of steps, or the misaligned steps. Let's put it like this, because there's never a right or wrong, but there's always the misaligned or the aligned steps. If you're taking too many of the misaligned steps or making the misaligned decisions, well, you're moving down the wrong kind of path, the path that you actually don't want to be on, the path that you're not meant to be on, the path that causes even more challenges and more obstacles, because you're actually meant to be on a different path, right? So the more you do this daily practice, you're really staying more in alignment, because you're also tuning in, you're getting the guidance, and then you know exactly what you're meant to be doing moving forward. And then the fifth benefit is that it also actually helps you manifest the things that you want with more ease, because you are in an energetic alignment, rather than being, bogged down by life, all the challenges and all the things that are happening. You are more uplifted. So of course you're vibrating higher, and then whatever you want to attract, it's easier for you to actually manifest it, because you're in energetic alignment to the things that you want to manifest. And then the sixth benefit is having a daily spiritual practice can also assist you in, and also speed up your ascension, because you're tapping into the higher level frequency, so that uplifts you, so that it can assist you in your ascension. And the seventh and final benefit is, well, if you're connecting with your team of guides, you're connecting with your soul, you always will know what to do. You will always have answers to your questions. If you're wondering, well, what should I do today? What is the most aligned way for me to move forward? What is to my highest and greatest good? Or things like that. Whatever question you have, you can tune and you can ask your team of guides, and you will always receive an answer. Maybe not right in the moment, but the answer will always come when you least expect it, when you're most receptive to receiving the guidance. And that's why having a daily spiritual practice is so very important, because it opens you up to all that. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and you see the benefit of really starting a daily practice. And here, if you're a little challenged with actually doing something on a daily basis, just at least give yourself 5 minutes if you can. Because I know how it can be. Life gets in the way, especially let's say you're still having a job and in the morning it's very busy, you just got to get ready, you got to get out the house. Then at least do it maybe in the evening when you get home. But try to infuse a daily spiritual practice into your day. The more you do, for one, the easier it will be and the better you will feel. In the beginning, I always said, well, I don't have time to meditate in the morning. I don't have time. I got to get started. I got to get in the office. I got to get started with my day. But I actually noticed the more I did that, the more misaligned I felt. But as soon as I then started with my daily morning practice, my meditation and grounding and all of those different things, connecting with my team of guides, the day definitely went a lot better. So I make this a priority for myself. And if I really don't have time in the morning, then at least I do it during the day or in the evening. But I find the time to implement or to spend time with my daily spiritual practice. And I really want to invite you to start a daily spiritual practice, or do a little bit more if you can. If you are feeling that you're a little off center, that you're not always grounded, that you're not always aligned, then that is because you are very misaligned to who you are. So do a little bit more of your daily spiritual practice and you will step back into alignment. But if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, maybe leave me a comment below, let me know. Do you have a daily spiritual practice? And if so, what are you doing on a daily basis to really stay centered, grounded, and in alignment? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. So thanks so much for being here. Now be sure to check out this video here about the 6 morning practices to start your day off right, to get some more insights into what else you could be doing in the morning. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant and successful day. Namaste.